howling hello to all my audiobook addicted night crawlers out there, and welcome back to the Lewd Lycanthrope. I'm your host, Chuck Duclaw, werewolf, news anchor, and the only guy you know who judges fiction while stuck behind a garbage truck at 8 a.m. on a Tuesday. Today we're diving into 10 supernatural audiobooks I devoured while doing my day job, and let me tell you, these bad boys need to be TV shows right away. Not, maybe a cute limited series on streaming kind of shows. I mean full throttle, cancel your weekend plans and put your jerk-off session on hold kind of shows. And trust me, this list is pure, raw, supernatural badassery. So let's start the countdown. Grab your snacks, secure your pants, and maybe don't play this one on the speakers at work. You've been warned. Well, starting our list off at number 10, we've got Graveyard Shift by Michael F. Haspel. Imagine a vampire and a mummy walk into a precinct. No, that's not a punchline, just supernatural noir at its finest. Graveyard Shift follows a reformed vampire cop named Alex who used to be an ancient warlord and is now stuck doing night shifts, busting rogue werewolves and slime demons on a government payroll. Honestly, it's kind of like Law & Order Fang Unit, and I mean that in the best way possible. So why would it slap as a TV show? Well, you've got gritty urban fantasy, supernatural politics, ancient curses, and just enough buddy cop banter to keep it from crawling up its own sarcophagus. Now picture this: neon lights, blood-soaked alleys, and a moody vamp with a 1,000-yard stare just trying to do some good while flipping off the system. Someone needs to call Netflix and get this rolling ASAP. Coming in at number 9, we've got Crooked Fang by Carrie Clevenger. Meet Zan Marcellus, vampire, bass player, dive bar dweller, and overall professional fuck-up. Crooked Fang isn't your sparkly teenage thirst trap. This guy drinks too much, smokes too much, and just wants to be left alone to shred his guitar and maybe bang a bartender or two. But surprise, trouble always finds a way to drag his undead ass back into action. Usually with guns, claws, or some pissed-off ancient thing that wants to snack on Middle America. And why would it kick ass as a TV series, you ask? Well, it's basically supernatural if Dean quit hunting and just played in a metal band while blackout drunk. It's got grit, it's got monsters, and it's got a lead character with the emotional depth of a shot glass filled with regret. Every episode would feel like a whiskey-soaked hangover with a side of teeth. And let's be honest, we need more rock and roll vamps on screen who don't look like they moisturize nightly, if you know what I mean. Moving on to number 8, we've got Tales of the Thief Taker by D.B. Jackson. Okay, picture this: 1760s Boston. Powdered wigs, political tension, and, fucking sorcerers throwing down in the cobblestone streets. Ethan is a thief taker, which is basically a supernatural bounty hunter crossed with a colonial private eye. He's got secrets, scars, and more bad luck than a black cat in a lightning storm. If history class had been this badass, folks, I might actually have passed it. So why does this need to be on TV like yesterday? Because historical fantasy with magic is the kink I didn't know I had. Think Sleepy Hollow meets Peaky Blinders, but with actual witches and less brooding British accents. It's got curses, duels, and supernatural crime in powdered wigs. You know some network exec is dying to greenlight Hamilton but with ghosts. Well, boom, buddy. Here's your chance. Well, coming in at number 7, we've got the Dead Man series by Lee Goldberg and William Radkin. What happens when you survive a supernatural execution and end up cursed with visions of evil and murder? Well, you become Matt Cahill, aka the unlucky bastard who has to walk across America fighting monsters only he can see, well, at least thanks to a creepy-ass tumor that gives him ghost sight. It's kind of like Route 66 meets the X-Files, but with more decapitations and fewer pants. So why does this need to be a show? Well, it's made for TV. Each episode is a new town, new freak of the week, and Matt hitting it all with an axe like he's got a grudge against logic. There's a core mythos, but it's flexible enough for Monster of the Week mayhem. It's supernatural hitchhiking with a big bloody side of cursed fate. It's gritty, gory, and perfect for a late night binge when you're questioning your life choices, which we all know we do frequently. Well, moving on to number 6, we've got the Harlequin Chronicles by Steve McHugh. Meet Nate Garrett. He's an immortal sorcerer. Well, he's a thief and a certified magical clusterfuck magnate as well. Think the Dresden Files, but with more blood, more ancient secrets, and fewer damn fedoras. Nate's constantly trying to stop the end of the world while his past lives rent-free in his head, and unfortunately, in the heads of people who want him very, very dead. So why would this destroy as a TV series? Well, you've got time-hopping magic, ancient grudges, secret societies, and enough sword fights and spell slinging to make the CW spontaneously combust. Every season could dive deeper into Nate's centuries of drama. Plus, well, he's a sarcastic asshole with a heart of gold buried under centuries of trauma. AKA, folks, TV gold. Well, alright, rounding off our halfway point at number 5, we've got the I, Strahd series by P.N. Elrod. Ah yes, the gothic diary of everyone's favorite undead drama queen. I, Strahd is the dear diary of Barovia's most emotionally constipated vampire, Count Strahd von Zarevich. Imagine if Dracula and Victor Frankenstein had a sad, angry baby and gave him way too much journal space. This book lets you crawl inside the dusty, self-important brain of a warlord turned vampire who's got more unresolved issues than a therapy convention. He falls in love, murders people, becomes undead, broods in his castle for centuries, and yes, still thinks it's everyone else's fault. So why does this one need to be a show? Well, because this bastard invented the vampire fuckboy trope, and it's time we brought it back, with blood, betrayal, and brooding monologues so juicy, well, you'll need to smoke a clove cigarette just to cope. The whole thing reads like gothic Shakespeare if it was a little hornier and way more stabby. Between the undead politics, psychological spiral, and the sheer amount of self-pity, this could be the next big supernatural soap opera. Give us a lush, spooky series with candles, capes, castles, and chaos, and if it doesn't have a scene where Strahd sighs dramatically while looking out a stormy window, well, I can see riots beginning. That's all I'm saying. Well, coming in at number 4, we got The Grave Reports by R.R. Virdi. Vincent Graves wakes up in random dead bodies with just a few days to solve their murders. Oh yeah, and also stop the supernatural bastard responsible. He's basically a sarcastic, undead detective who's been reincarnated more times than your average Tinder date has red flags. He doesn't know who he is, but he knows monsters, and he definitely knows how to punch them in the face. Well. So why is this simple story so good for TV? Well, this thing was built for episodes. One case per week, building towards a larger story arc about Vincent's lost identity and the cosmic horror puppeteering him. Think Fringe meets Quantum Leap with a hefty helping of urban fantasy noir. Throw in snark, guts, and ghosts, and, well, you've got your next cult hit. It's a guaranteed win, folks. Well, bouncing into the number 3 spot, we've got the Blood Vice series by Angela Roquette. Lana Harvey was just trying to make it through an afterlife filled with paperwork and supernatural politics. Well, until someone decided to start murdering immortals anyway. She's basically a Grim Reaper with a side hustle and not dying again. It's funny, sarcastic, and full of gods, demons, and corporate HR departments that quite literally come from hell. So why does this one need to be on the screen, you ask? Well, imagine The Good Place had a threesome with Dead Like Me and American Gods. Every Reaper, deity, and death-obsessed freak has their own agenda, and Lana's just trying to not get obliterated in the celestial crossfire. It's kind of a perfect scenario for a smart adult fantasy comedy that mixes sass with a fuck ton of swordplay. It's definitely worth a listen and would be an excellent addition to the small screen. Well, coming in at the number 2 spot, we've got the Junkyard Druid series by M.D. Massey. Colin McCool is your classic broke-ass wizard with a chip on his shoulder and a tendency to piss off Fae. Well, Fae, vampires, gods, and just about anything with claws or ego issues. He's trying to clean up the magical messes in Austin, Texas, while dodging death, bad decisions, and a shit ton of rent collectors. Think urban fantasy with beer, brawls, and really bad ideas. So, why would this one work as a TV show? Well, Colin's such a beautifully hot mess, he kind of belongs on the screen. The setting is grounded but packed with supernatural chaos, the world building's on tap and deep, the character growth is killer, and there's enough plot across the series to fuel 6 fucking seasons of a movie easy. Plus, well, Colin's sarcastic, relatable, and constantly outmatched persona would definitely become a fan favorite formula for the show. And that alone would probably carry it pretty deep in several seasons. And finishing our list off at number 1, we've got The Deathless Saga by Chris Fox. Blair's no ordinary werewolf. He's stuck with immortality, which sounds cool in theory, but it's a nightmare when you're constantly dragged into cosmic-level supernatural drama. In the Deathless Saga, Blair finds himself caught in a war between gods and several kinds of creatures that should have never been. Alongside characters like Liz, Jordan, and ancient Egyptian gods like Isis and Osiris, Blair must navigate a world where death doesn't stick, magic runs wild, and every decision could mean the difference between saving or destroying everything. Whether it's battling a godly foe or struggling to keep his pack from getting wiped out, Blair's immortality is less of a gift and more of a curse, and it doesn't look like it's getting any easier anytime soon as the story goes on. So why does this TV show need to happen? Well, the series has all the ingredients for a standout supernatural drama. You've got gods, werewolves, zombies, and a fuck ton of dark magic. Everything that makes for compelling, high-stakes storytelling. The Deathless Saga isn't just action and drama. It's rich in mythological depth, giving us a world filled with conflict, betrayal, and very complex characters. Think epic battles, godly rivalries, and a whole lot of chaos, all tied together by Blair's struggle to stay alive in a world that wants to eat him alive. With each season building on a new layer of this rich supernatural universe, this is the kind of series that could keep audiences hooked for years. I mean, werewolves fighting gods, mythic creatures, and apocalypses? Oh hell yeah, sign me up for that shit. There you have it, folks. 10 supernatural audiobooks that deserve to be made into TV shows because, let's face it, TV's been slacking and we deserve some better content. If you're not out there signing petitions, sending angry tweets, or throwing your money at studios to make this happen, well, what the hell are you doing with your life? Get off your ass and get involved, folks. These books are just begging for their time in the spotlight, not sitting in your audiobook app gathering dust like a pile of forgotten laundry. I mean, come on, who wouldn't want to see werewolves fighting gods and zombies taking over the world? Yeah, I thought so. So let's get to work to make that happen, shall we? But until then, keep those earbuds in, crank up the volume, and remember, stay loud, stay lewd, stay furry, my friends. We'll catch you in the next video.